issue of income is a very, very important issue.
Way too many people who are underemployed, working 2 and 3 jobs to make economic ends meet.
How do we find out if they would be willing to work with elderly?
We need to provide more of a structured environment between organizations.
Not everybody is benefiting from the economic prosperity. And there are populations like the elderly and youth and people with disabilities or people with criminal histories that need some extra help getting employment. And many times they're having to work, low-income families especially, are having to work many jobs to make ends meet.
Those most in need are the ones that lack the skills necessary to be competitive in an ever-changing and growing market. We have a large growth of jobs at the very high end. High skill, high demand, high wage jobs. And we have a large number of jobs, equally large, at the very bottom. Low skill, low paying jobs.
The purpose of today's forum was to bring together a lot of the service providers that are serving those individual populations. We have a lot of community resources, but we need to make the best use of them, and we need to figure out ways to connect them in a more seamless way.
Career and benefits information, we provide them with child care, computer and internet access for job search, how-to workshops where we help them write resumes, we do mock interviews.
Right now we have 11 campuses. We continue to open new ones. So we want to build where people are at, and we want to offer low tuition fees so that people can afford it. We want to help people get financial aid.
We are not the only provider of services for small businesses. There are some other folks back here at the back table.
So hopefully that's something every major agency or whatever corporation would have, a veteran liaison.
There was a lot of wonderful brainstorming today about things that we could do differently and do more effectively to make sure that we're maximizing our resources.
Employers need to allow those parents to be involved in the schools. Field trips, taking them to their businesses. So yes, they too can take their child to work.
And then collaborating with the employer to address any potential barriers to a person's success.
And they need to be educated, these employers, that there's a lot of opportunities.
Part of that diverse workforce maybe should be in terms of staffing, that cross-generation.
Exactly. At the same time, there's a lot of seniors who don't know how to even get to employers that have the opportunity. So there's a gap.
There are opportunities for everyone here. There's no reason that we have the gap that we have. Both boats can be lifted. We just need to do a better job as a social service and education sector, of working more closely with the business sector to understand their needs, to see where our clients can fit in.
We're seeing much more complex cases that show up to our service providers' offices. Okay, people who have not just a housing issue that needs to be resolved, but a food security issue, a transportation issue, an education issue, a health issue. With that complexity, there's a need, an attendant need for collaboration.
Hector came up with a really great idea about area SWAT teams. In those areas where individuals need services, they don't need to be sent from one organization to another organization to another organization. They need to be able to come into one facility and get the services that they need.
There could be a lot more done in making sure that veterans use their GI Bill efficiently to put them into the higher paying job fields.
We also talked about cooperatives and how businesses can join, or individuals can join together to invest in a business financially, but also from skill sets.
We know there's training available for the youth. They can go to a lot of you all providers and get those kind of skills. But one thing they don't have is the social emotional maturity to actually follow through with these things. They get enrolled at ACC within the first 4 weeks. Most of them drop out because they don't have the skill sets to commit to this, balance their life and to school and getting a housing.
One model that has been very effective in this is an earn while you learn model, and that's one of the things that we're doing at American Youth Works.
There were so many different perspectives that were really important, and they valued an opportunity to connect to other organizations and new resources and new contacts, And frankly, it starts there. It starts with relationships.
We talked a lot about how there needs to be more industry commitment to providing childcare at work. That eliminates a lot of the barriers for especially single moms who might not have reliable childcare.
Personal attendants, direct care service workers are the fastest growing job in the nation. They are also the lowest paid in the nation. They have no health insurance, and job rate turnovers are 72%. Until we can make the policy changes necessary to get their salaries up, to increase their skills training, to make them be certified, to have all those pieces in place, we have to provide the wraparound support services to make sure that they can live on minimum wage.
We'd like to see more trainings in the workforce that can build on the skills of the immigrants, the skills that they have and the gifts that they have.
Individuals that are incarcerated, when they receive on-the-job training, part of that problem is that they can't use it when they come out due to their offense.
Diversity training, because so many of them are scared to hire people with disabilities because they have no idea what that really means, what happens if somebody's mentally ill and they start to have problems. They're also afraid of the cost of a reasonable accommodation, which most of the time is either at no cost or a very minimal cost. So we can help them with that.
A lot of the companies that are moving here, even for lower level jobs, are in the outer areas. So transportation is a big issue.
In our safety net, we have a group working on workforce issues, and we have another set of providers working on housing issues, and another set of providers working on health issues. But it's becoming more and more apparent that we need to be coordinating those resources across these different areas.